You said I got to solo the intro?
I mean, I don't see Mickey.
So we're live.
We're live.
Step
Right.
Stebo's sleeping.
Let's go, Stebo.
Outer Haven?
Assemble.
Assemble.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Oh man.
But today, guys, we're going to be talking about the
Guys, more hype.
underdogs for the side voyage. So people that you guys in the chat, like that we as well think that are slept on, such as Yurush, who used to be and who's not anymore. So if you guys have anyone you want to talk about, put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll kind of go from there. So who do you guys want to start off with? Because I feel like one of the people is Kobe for me. People don't.
I don't even think that he should be like considered that, only because like if you don't think that he's gonna be strong at the end, it's just like, what are you reading?
And
Crazy.
And
Yeah.
then I would even say now. I feel like a lot of people, like when I'm in like Broadway's chat, a lot of people do say that like he needs a devil fruit to keep up with Luffy
Nah, dude.
and all these other things.
Bro, Kobe showed the most growth in the show. Just saying.
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of people don't understand that like he's training under Garp at Navy HQ since about the time Luffy started like his journey, almost like halfway through it even. And so like he's been training for what, about 2.5 years at Navy HQ. And in those 6 months near the end of the story at the Marineford, we saw his like big growth from like being a like Garbo ass fodder character to now like Rashiki techniques. But it's pretty crazy in my opinion. How do you guys feel about Kobe?
I feel like it's gonna be.
You say how we feel about him?
Yeah, how do you like feel about him like right now and even end of story?
I feel like Kobe gonna be dope. I feel like he gonna get a devil fruit. He gonna get the reverse on me.
Who here thinks he is going to get a devil fruit? Because I don't think so.
No,
but...
I don't.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Garp is strong without one, and he's like teaching him how to be strong without a devil fruit.
Yeah.
He's
I
gonna
think
be
if
the
he becomes an
protege.
admiral, he's gonna get a devil fruit because everybody that's becoming an admiral has a devil fruit.
Stebo,
Maybe,
he's gonna
yeah.
be the protege of he's a protege of Garp, so he's gonna be the same thing. Let's go up.
Yeah,
Because the
Garp
thing
is strong without one.
Yeah, because the thing with that is Garp was asked multiple times to be an admiral, and I doubt he would take a devil fruit if he became one. So I think he will.
Yeah, I think he'd just be
I
like.
think that's why he turned it down every time because he had to get a devil fruit.
I don't think you have to. He just didn't want to become an admiral.
Yeah, he said it was about like the whole freedom aspect, you know.
He didn't want the responsibility.
He'd be strong without one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one vision.
But think about it though, every admiral has a devil fruit.
Maybe because they wanted one, not because they were forced to have one.
The thing with that though is a lot of them had it before. It's like Kizaru,
Yeah.
Akainu, and Kiji had theirs as vice admirals, if not earlier. Like Kizaru.
I think it's a requirement.
That'd be lame.
Or a gift like the CP9.
Like if anything, yeah, I would think it'd be like a gift, like they'd have, because I still think that they have a tree somewhere growing these fruits and Mary Jo's.
Yeah, that's the hidden treasure in Marijoa. It's the fruit of life tree.
Yeah.
Tree that extends all the way to Fishman Island.
So where do you guys see Kobe in a series in comparison to someone like Luffy and Zoro and them?
I mean, like realistically, I could probably see him like Prime Garp.
He's gonna be on tier with Luffy.
I think so. Like, if not on tier, at least a little bit below him to kind of parallel, I guess, like Roger and Garp.
Right.
That's what I think too. A little bit below.
Yeah.
It kind of depends though, because like some people say that Smoke is meant to be like that Garp figure.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
If it's Smoker, then I'm not sure where Kobe would be.
Yeah, Kobe's gonna be like close to admiral.
Why can't they both be Garp?
That's true.
Where's the echo?
The thing is that Kobe wanted to be admiral, right? So if Kobe wanted to be admiral and Smoker he's like already higher in the rank from the beginning of the series all the way to now, then he'd be probably fleet admiral, and that's more fitting for Luffy as an enemy at the end of story.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kobe wants to be an admiral, then I could see like Smoker being the true Garp and like turning down the admiral status, whereas Kobe takes it. If that makes sense.
He wants to do his own thing, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with that, like I think it's possible that like Kobe could surpass where Garp was and be even something higher. Like he could eventually like be like either Fleet Admiral or higher than that too. I feel like Fuji's probably gonna be Fleet Admiral, if not the can't think of it, the Kong's position. The commander in chief.
I could see that. I could see him at Kong's position, and then Kobe at Fleet.
Right.
At the end, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is true. Still have Kong's position.
So another character that I can think of, this will be a fun one, will be Buggy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's the best personally.
Like
You
how
learned well,
do you guys
JJ.
think where do you guys think he is right now in the story in terms of strength? Like if you were to rate him to fight someone, like who do you think he'd go roughly even with?
The middle trio.
My God.
Who you talking about?
Buggy.
Buggy.
D clown, you know.
Buggy.
Yeah. Of course.
I mean, of course, bro.
I do personally think that he's like actually really strong, but he's like the Usopp complex where like chooses not to fight.
It's so hard to rate like trolley characters. You know what I mean?
It's not that hard. You just know they're gonna be the best.
I don't know. For me personally, it's just kind of hard. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy. The trolls for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, because you know that they're gonna be good just because they troll, but like I don't know.
The one thing that I was interested in as we were watching Marineford was
I think
when they were talking with the impelled down prisoners.
Stebo said Buggy the scrub.
So when they were talking with the impelled down prisoners, and then they talked to Whitebeard, right? Whitebeard was surprised that like Buggy was so weak, but he said like I guess there's some blemishes on Cruz. We're talking about Gold Rogers, but I feel like even Buggy isn't a scrub. I feel like he's secretly OP, but he just hasn't like shown it yet. Because I feel like it's so hard to like be on a Gold Rogers crew, even if you're a cabin boy. Because they were fighting, like we see that they fought, and like if you're fighting next to
And he's
Shanks,
still alive now. So
and you look where Shanks was like right now, and then where Buggy is. Like to me, it doesn't make sense because you would think he'd have the same experience.
He kind of reminds me of Blackbeard, but without the ambition. Because
Yeah,
you know how Blackbeard always has to do like underhanded tactics and all that stuff. Like the reason why he's actually where he is because he has the ambition to like force his way there. But Buggy's basically that, but all he wants is treasures. Like he hasn't got that fire in him to actually push him forward.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
So do you think if something ever happens where like he has an opportunity to get Captain John's treasure, because we know that's like the only thing he wants, do you think he's gonna like fight to the death for it if it's someone that's gonna like take it from him?
Definitely, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I see him fighting for it, but I don't see him winning just because it's something that he wants. Like, I don't think it would give him like some major power boost or nothing.
It's not going to be a power boost. He's just going to reveal his true power.
You're going to have a power up called Treasure Drive.
Say that again.
Treasure Drive. That's going to be the name of his power up.
Yeah.
But like one thing like me and Dan talk about a lot is like his like devil fruit potential and like where he.
Bro, it's too crazy. It's too crazy. Like there was. Have you all seen episode 0?
Yes.
Yes.
So like there was at the point when what's it called? Like I just want to make a small point for it. Like why I think it should be so OP. When they're going up against Shiki and his Grand Fleet, literally.
What Shanks says.
Yeah. Well, but Buggy's pissing his pants. You know what I mean? He's going up to everybody. He's like, "Oh my god, I don't want to fight." You know. He tries going up to Rayleigh. He's like, "Please stop them." And Shanks literally turns around to Buggy. He's like, "Why are you even afraid? They can't hurt you."
Yeah.
You know, like they literally can't touch you. Like you have nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? And it's just like Buggy was like, "Oh, I could like get hurt in other ways," which was like the only reason I see was because they're on a ship in the sea. But like his devil fruit is hacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like on Marineford when Mihawk cut him up and thought like, all right, that's the end of that guy. Buggy just trolled him. He's like, you know, that almost hurt me, you know?
That's kind of situational though. It's very situational though.
But think about it like here. Like, I'm trying to say like, kind of like what his devil fruit could potentially be. Like, not just what we've seen. Like, we know from what we've seen, right? Like, any swordsman shouldn't be able to, like, with their sword, shouldn't hurt him, right?
Okay,
but let's say, because like what his fruit is, it allows him to break apart into smaller pieces. So let's say someone like is using like a blunt type weapon, or they're coming up and punching him, right? What if like they punch him and instead he still just breaks into smaller pieces type? You know what I mean? Like that portion just pops out and then he's kind of unfazed. That's what I'm
But
trying
that's
to
what
say.
I mean by like his motivation. Like he's not motivated enough to hone his abilities like that. That's why I see him staying as this weak character. Like, his devil fruit's got potential, but whether he unlocks that is another story. And then when you say like how the swordsman they won't be able to hurt him, right? I'm sure like someone with like elemental abilities on their swords. So say if they slash him, although the slash might go through him, wouldn't the fire still catch? So like
Yeah.
that could still
Absolutely.
affect him, right?
Billy Bob was asking
Absolutely.
right now in the chat if Buggy were to get hit with hockey, right? Would that do anything?
I don't think on a sword it would do anything.
But the thing is that
I feel like it should, but I don't think it will.
I don't think it'll do any. Even if it's on a sword, I think it's just clean through him.
the thing with hockey is that if you use hockey, you can hurt the user, but it's not like Blackbeard's ability where you negate the devil fruit. So
Yeah,
you can do
like-
it
Yeah.
One thing about it, like a lot of people talk, like people act as if hockey negates it, which is like a very good point. It allows you to touch Logias. That's what like the initial thing about it was, because no one could touch them before, and now you can touch a Logia. But like on Parameces, it's not that you gain. Like I'm trying to think of a good way to put it.
It lets
But, like,
you
you don't-
bypass the natural defense. So
Yeah,
if Buggy's ability to split himself would be considered a defense, then I think it should. I think it should
no,
work.
but that's.
What?
I'm
So let
trying
me
to-
That would
ask though,
defeat the
'cause,
whole
like,
object of his fruit, like literally.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like it would be like negating his fruit if you say I'm
Yeah.
going to use hockey and then cut him. Like that, his fruit doesn't allow him to be cut though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Maybe
you know
it might be a thing like where, you know how with Treble, right?
Mhm.
Law cut him, but he kept like rejoining himself. But then Law did like this special cut, and he couldn't rejoin himself after that. Maybe the hockey would stop him from rejoining the parts after he's cut, so he has a bit less control or something like that.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like we haven't seen or heard anything so far that would lead us to believe that hockey would like affect a devil fruit user's ability to use their own fruit. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like it doesn't negate it in any way, shape, or
Yeah.
form. So therefore, I'm trying to say like, shouldn't we assume Buggy can always keep using his devil fruit?
Yeah,
And if he
exactly.
can just chop into pieces and pieces, like
Yeah.
dude, think about like the whole Mihawk thing. Like if Mihawk has such god tier observation hockey, right? He should have seen before he cut Buggy that Buggy would rejoin himself, right?
Yeah.
So let's just assume he's like that's just kind of how I see it. Like
Yeah,
I
so
don't
that's what I'm
think
saying. I hate using Marineford for examples because nothing was
Yeah.
accurate in that whole.
Well, let me ask you guys this though, because Billy was also asking too. Do you think Mihawk used hockey when he was attacking Buggy or no?
personally I do, but
I do.
So I'd like to say that, but because of the lack of
Because the
evidence
way
about
that
hockey,
because the way it looked like to me when I saw him like cutting, like he was surprised, like he wasn't cutting him.
yeah,
Right. So like to me, it's
Yeah.
like I don't think he used hockey because he like if you think back, like he used like a little sword, right, the little pocket knife to fight Zoro.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of strange, like all of a sudden he's just gonna go and use like a full hockey attack with his like main
Yeah.
sword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he was using hockey because
Yeah.
like he didn't really feel like he needed to.
I think
Yeah.
someone of his nature probably could be able to do something like
Yeah, I doubt he took that
Mihawk.
part serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you did, but
Yeah, the thing is, like for example, some people are saying that if hockey didn't negate devil fruit, then it wouldn't hurt the devil fruit users. But that's not how it goes. It's like Ray specifically stated that it's meant
it's like
to.
armor.
It's meant to bypass the natural defense of a
For
devil
example,
fruit.
if Luffy is in Gear 2, right, and he fights Blackbeard, and Blackbeard touches him, the Gear 2 just runs out. It goes away, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But if Gear 2 Luffy fights against someone with hockey, and the hockey hits him, the Gear 2 does not just eliminate. It hurts him,
Yeah.
but the Gear 2 stays on. So it's not the
Right.
same thing.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Whereas if he was hit without hockey, it wouldn't really hurt him because of the rubber. So yeah, as Stebo was saying, it just bypasses the defense. Yeah.
okay.
Another character I guess we can talk about too, linked to Kobe, is obviously Helmipo. Because I feel like kind of,
yeah.
I don't know if they're trolling or not with that,
Mm,
but like in a series, I could see him being an admiral personally,
Yeah.
just because like if he's
Dude,
with him, we'll
Captain
be fighting.
Morgan's son. Yeah.
'Cause
Like,
Mhm.
If you ever notice like Garp, there's always someone with Garp, right? And I'm pretty sure it's like his like right hand man, but we don't ever have a name yet with him. And I think that's kind of be like Helmipo's position. Because even before when he fought Zoro, right? Like he did get like in a sense one shot at it because he got thrown to the ground, but like he was still fighting a Zoro at like in this lobby. and Water 7. So I feel like end of series or even right now, like he's gonna be pretty damn strong, especially since I think he should have hockey by now.
Yeah.
Which would be like
Mhm.
Vice Admiral tier then. So, but I think it kind of depends on like who he ends up fighting.
Yo, what if Helmeppo is like at the end of the story he's on Virgo's level?
That'd be fucking crazy.
That'd be crazy, right?
Yeah. 'Cause I feel like he needs to fight someone like Zoro again, or like I personally see those two being at like in Wano together, and like I want to see them fight someone like strong. Like I wouldn't mind if like Kobe fought like a Calamity or something like that, or like a Damio. So, I guess here's another one since Progress in the chat. Smoker. Like, how do you guys feel about him so far? Because in the New World, I was pretty let down by him.
Yeah.
Smoker needs a W. He needs a W.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's been getting wrecked, so he needs a W.
Gets a bad
I mean, it's like Smoker. He only got wrecked by Doflamingo, and he didn't get a proper fight against Luffy and Rob. But he stood his
true.
Yeah, he stood well against Virgo. I mean, if you look at the manga, it was only like at the last moment.
Because for the most part, I do feel like Logias can get like nerfed in a sense in the New World because most people have hockey, so they're not like used to getting hit. And especially someone like Smoker, who in majority like the war uses Loki abilities to like not die. I'm guessing.
I mean, if you go back to like what Peckham said at Fishman Island, he's like Logias who think they're the man obviously get sent back down to earth, you know. So like for me, it's like it would have to depend on like how well you master the fruit itself. Like just like the user himself, like if you have the confidence that you don't just rely on the Loki abilities, but like the environment around you with your awakening, then like that's kind of make it up for him.
It's like what things would you guys want to see with his like Devil Fruit to like make him like in a sense useful? Because like I feel like he hasn't shown anything that's like specific to his Devil Fruit that he could like make his own. Kind of like how Caesar can like do multiple gas things. And
has anyone breathed in his smoke?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'd like to see him choking people out.
Yeah, like he just like screws up like the oxygen like air like levels and stuff. So like people are just like sucking in like smoke.
Yeah, like something like that, because I feel like he needs more upgrades to his Devil Fruit. So far, all we see him use it for like physical combat, which I feel like that type of Logia isn't really necessarily used for. Like the fact that it's tangible too is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie with the smoke.
Yeah.
But like yeah, I want to see him like fight somewhere soon where he actually does like fight someone at least equal to him, if not stronger, and actually win.
Yeah.
So when do you guys think that's going to be, and against whom?
So the thing is, like, they're going to Vegapunk right now, so I'd assume it's maybe if they have time, maybe at Wano, because I think a lot of people are going to be at Wano for the Marines, since their whole thing is to open up the borders and stuff at the end of the arc.
I think Wano.
Yeah, I think they will play Seed, especially with Tashigi, which I'll talk about after. Because I feel like Tashigi Swordsman would be a perfect fit.
But the Marines aren't allowed in Wano.
Well, that's the thing; they're not allowed. But if they get like asked by someone like Kozuki, right, or anyone in general, and they like make a promise with them, like, "Oh, if you help us like take down Kaido, we'll then like open the forest to the world government to do trade with and stuff."
It's 2:30. I know.
So it's like a lot of like
You're showering?
This kid. Oh god. Okay.
Dan with the entertainment, everyone.
Yeah. But like in real life, a lot of like the colonies from the US and whatnot, and like especially Europe, right? A lot of like countries that weren't used to visitors and such, they weren't necessarily had closed borders, but they weren't used to the visitors. So the European colonies usually did like trades with them and did trade routes, and that's how like a lot of like places around the world opened up was through trade. And I feel like we're going to something similar to that in Wano.
Oh yeah, but you guys think that like at the end of Wano that if Luffy or Zoro frees the country from the Shogun, might become a part of Luffy's fleet?
I feel like he will. Sorry, I feel like he will, and I feel like Momo will become the new like Shogun. Like even if he's just a child, like everyone that reads Kingdom knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel it'll be something similar to that. The next person I was gonna talk about too is then obviously Tashiki, who I think is a beast, but like just hasn't had her right moment yet. I think she needs a little bit more training, but like she like, the thing is she kind of like didn't really get to show too much, I feel like, against Monet. I feel like she kind of got thrashed a little bit, but she did hold her own against
Yeah, the thing is that Monet actually, Robin was also having a hard time with her, so we can't say that Robin is weak.
Yeah, and what should we call it? Luffy got put down for a little bit when he was put to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah.
So
I do think though, like when it comes to Tashigi, I think like if she somehow shows up to Wano somehow, right? I think like that's probably the best chance for her to like really show what she's got. Otherwise, it's like whatever like arc we see her coming afterwards, it feels like Oda might just be putting her in there just to feel like, you know, just to give her something.
Because at the end of the series, where do you see her being? Like Smoker would be an admiral, at least.
And I think she should at best be probably vice admiral.
Yeah.
I agree.
But like I wouldn't say, because obviously we kind of know like the levels of, like, you know, we can say like there's a whole bunch of vice admirals, but we know that there's one that's better than the other. So I would say she might be like the top tier, like, so she could be like the best of the vice admirals. But if we had to put her like near admiral level, she'd probably be like very, very low on that. So like in between.
Yeah.
So like maybe like Suru level, like end of series.
I think so. That's a.
I think she's gonna be top vice. That's what I
a good
think.
comparison.
I don't think admiral.
I just want her to be strong, man.
Yeah, like I personally kind of want to see her be an admiral because I feel like the admirals are either going to be among like Kobe, Smoker, Helmipo, and then Tashigi, like completely end of series. I feel like it'll be among those four, and then whoever doesn't get it will be like Fleet Admiral.
Fuji at Fleet, and then Smoker, Kobe, and Helmipo at admiral.
Yeah,
that would be dope. I would like that personally.
We're forgetting about Sentomaru.
But like, is he like really like? I don't know. How do you guys feel about him as being like a good guy or a bad guy? Like, where do you see him?
Who sent tomorrow?
Yes, a lot of respect for Luffy. That's a plus.
Right.
I think he's a good
Like
guy.
he does call Kizaru his uncle, which obviously I don't think is like literal. I think he's just calling him because he's older. But you never know. But like, I feel like he is probably one of the stronger vice admirals right now that we see. I think he's probably like mid to top tier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he was a what? Like was he a rear admiral pre-time skip?
Who was Sentomaru?
Yeah.
I don't think he technically had a role technically with the Marines.
Because he was like a scientist or something. I think, maybe.
Yeah, he was like scientist, and afterwards he got enlisted into the Marines.
Yeah, but he had hockey, which was crazy.
Yeah.
So like the fact that he had hockey pre-time skip, it's pretty crazy.
Also, Flip said in the chat that he thinks that for now, Momonosuke might go with Luffy on adventures, and someone would take his position for a time being.
Kind of like what Odin did, innit? With like Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really thought of that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says here Sentomaru was like a bodyguard to Vegapunk, and then after like of the science units also, but then afterwards he came back to be a full-fledged officer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's his position now?
For Sentomaru?
Yeah, what is his position?
I think it's a vice admiral.
Yeah, for Sentomaru, vice admiral now, I think.
Yeah.
It just says Marine officer right now. So like, yeah, I mean, like if we have to probably put it, maybe vice admiral, rear admiral, maybe.
I assume vice because if he has hockey, I would assume that they just give it to him. Then if he's relations with Vegapunk and Kizaru.
I mean, he's the one that leads the pacifistas, but
yeah.
How do you guys rank the pacifistas? Because he has to be above them.
Well, the old ones are like, I don't know if they have like a rank, but I'd say they're like captain level of the Marines at least, like probably even stronger, like to be honest. Like, but there's the new models which I think are gonna be really nasty.
Oh, yo, I was gonna say here, Rose put up something really crazy. If you guys want to touch upon this, but like Bonnie might have turned Momo younger because he said like because he's like a perv, right? And he said how he met Roger, and we like everyone thinks it's a lie.
I still think he was like somewhat telling the truth of that.
Yeah,
because like, I know he does lie a lot about that stuff. Like the joke was like he was lying because he wanted to be part of the group that was saying that they all met him. But like I still think like some point in time in the Wano arc, he's going to have to like fight either Kaido or the Shogun, with either Luffy or Zoro, and then he's gonna like get older, kind of like again like Hitman Reborn reference if anyone's watched it. Lombo, he goes Future Lombo, something along those lines.
Yeah, unless he probably met Ace instead.
I don't think he'd confuse them though. Because
No.
he knows about the broadcasts probably, like everyone else. I mean, the broadcast from Marineford.
I mean, do you think they would have the broadcasts in Wano though, if they're trying to be cut off from the rest of the world?
They would probably wouldn't know.
Imagine they don't know.
Well, they'd still want to know what's going on. They just wouldn't want anyone interfering with their shit.
Yeah.
True.
Like, how funny would it be if they still thought that White Pig was alive?
I mean, yeah, I mean, like,
super late.
Crazy. It's like, don't worry, we got White Pig. Kyle here.
Yeah. I just want to see if the chat has anyone else that we want to talk about. I have some other ones, but I just want to see if they have anyone we want to mention, or if you guys do, for slept-on characters.
Bonnie.
Doflamingo.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I do see like we'll talk about Bonnie real quick. But I see why he's saying Duffy though, because like I feel like people are sleeping on him now afterwards. But yeah, Bonnie. So I'll start it off since you chose it.
Well, I think it just goes down to the whole fact that like from what we've seen of her, it's just like, you know, she's able to turn people's ages from like older to young. The fact that she has this connection to the world government that we don't know about, that we can like theory craft on. And I think it's just because like when people rank like the best supernova or like the strongest supernova, 9 out of 10 times people have Bonnie at the very bottom just because we haven't seen her fight. And I feel like for that reason, like at Sabaody, we saw like Kid go in, we saw Hawkins, Drake, all these guys go in, and like that's from a fighting standpoint. Whereas like Bonnie just used like the power of her Adult Fruit to do her actions. So like I think like for a character like her, we probably aren't going to see anything big from her, like a fighting style, until like much later on, just because she might have something packing that like we wouldn't be surprised, like we'll be surprised to see, you know, just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, like I feel like she's someone that like, in my mind, she's gonna be top tier of the supernovas, at least in a series.
Yeah.
Like I think she's gonna be like the third strongest besides Luffy and Zoro of the supernovas.
Yeah.
So below.
Yeah.
Like
personally, I have her in my top 5, just like from like an overall character standpoint and like what they offer to the story.
I think she just got her bounty because she's important to the world government.
So you don't think like it has anything to do with her power? You just think that because like her position, kind of like what Robin was.
I was just about to say Robin, you know. So there's already proof in the story that could be, you know, that could happen.
So who do you think she's related to then? Because like obviously the big theory is Big Mom, because you know. All the
ship.
I've heard Akainu being thrown around as well.
Yeah, because like the daughter, right?
I've heard like 3 or 4 different ones.
Which one would you guys say that you would think the most like reliable guess would be?
I mean, she's probably a D if anything.
Because I know people talk about like
most reliable would be a relationship to Whitebeard
or Ace.
Kind of.
Yeah, I think she had Ace's baby, or she carrying his baby right now.
Right now.
Yes, right now, son.
How would that have even happened? Like,
think about her devil fruit.
Hey, think about it. If Porcus D Rouge was able to pull that shit off and she doesn't have Adult Fruit, why wouldn't Bonnie be able to?
With the devil fruit, that has something to do with age.
Yeah, she can hold back the kid's age.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
So how would that work? Do you think she just have to turn them back to normal when they are born, or
gotta use that imagination?
Unfortunately, the way I look at it, it's like it's almost kind of like if I had to compare it to like what happened with like Sanji's family, how they kind of turn them into like these cyborg, like not cyborgs, but like iron body machines and stuff. So like in her sense, like she's manipulating the kid's age by changing it every single time. So like the genes, like just everything about the kid is already so mixed up because it's having to change back and forth from like an infant to something older and stuff, like, you know, in the process of being born.
Wow.
It could cause like complications, but it would make sense if, you know, they had that connection. She's able to do that with like her Devil Fruit.
No, because
when you say complications, what kind of things do you have in mind?
So basically, okay. So what I mean, like basically, like if let's say she's changing, like the kid's about to be born, like 9 months or whatever, and she switches it back to being like a month, like like the early stages of pregnancy, right? For sure, there has to be some kind of consequence that come with that. And the reason, like I say so much about the pregnancy thing, is because I connected to her character to Anne Bonny, which if you guys have played like Assassin's Creed Black Flag and just like the actual history of like Anne Bonny, right? Where like she was in prison and she was pregnant, and the reason why she was able to escape from the prison was because she was pregnant with child. And after that, like it didn't explain like what happened to her afterwards in that time, because she went MIA afterwards.
I see the correlation.
Yeah, one thing to like support that too, but like if you guys remember at the end of the war when she's like, "Damn that man," probably talking about Blackbeard, because then she went after to fight Blackbeard. She was probably talking about either Whitebeard dying because she was pissed, or because of Ace dying.
Yeah, and then like the other thing to me that kind of like you guys can shoot down too, but like I always go back to the Blackbeard like research and stuff, right? And I always remember like to myself, like Sengoku didn't know who Blackbeard was, but when Ace in that cover story went to some random Marine scouts and they knew his location, that didn't like add anything up to me. It's like, why would a Marine scout know where Teach is, but Sengoku has never heard this guy's name before? You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense. And then I'm thinking to myself, he was told. Then he has a piece of paper in his hand in the next cover page where it shows him like reading the page. And I'm thinking to myself, that's bullshit. Because why would they need to write it down if he told them, like the guy told them like what was going on?
What if Teach wreaked havoc on certain islands and the Marine was there?
I think it's something along the lines of like how, remember when Lafitte, right, showed up out of nowhere? And then everyone else didn't know about him besides that one like random guy that was from that district. I think it's something along those lines where like either because Sengoku was so high up that he only like needed to know the top people, if that makes sense. And like he kind of let like his subordinates know the like weaker people. Because Teach was laying super low, even for a Yonko crew member. That was like very like, for instance, like like everyone on Mocktown didn't know who he was. Otherwise, you would probably have heard people like freaking out if they heard a Yonko crew member was like there.
Yeah, but then like even when I look back to like the whole letter and stuff too, because like crazy thing too as well, because like let's say like you can pass on messages through like the seagulls and stuff, right? What if Bonnie has sent him a message saying, "Hey, I'm pregnant with our kid," and then Ace is thinking to himself, "Do I go back and see her, or I take care of my business with Teach?" And I think like to compare the two, like Roger telling Garp, like, "Hey, take care of my kid for me." Ace is doing a way where he's not going to tell anyone because he doesn't want the kid to go through what he went through.
So you think the kid's just gonna like kind of not know who his dad is?
I think Bonnie might mention it, but like that will be like later on when the kid's older. But like again, like where the story is right now, it's probably gonna find out like a lot earlier than we expect.
Yeah,
because
I mean, it'd be a good way to continue Roger's bloodline as well.
Right.
It would. It would.
I have a question. Like, Bonnie, we know her fruit is like kind of hacks, but what's her fighting style? Like, how would she fight against someone that's like Luffy? How would she fight against him?
I think
isn't it one touch and you're basically done if you're
Punches and kicks, buddy. What you mean?
Probably be like something like Sugar, how she kind
of
yeah.
But yeah, like that's the thing. Like someone like her, like I'd assume she at least has like hockey or something like that now. Because I feel like all the Supernova captains should have it, or even just all the Supernovas in general, being in the New World.
Yeah, they're in New World, yeah.
So I feel like her observation hopefully is good enough where like she can kind of estimate where they're gonna be. But yeah, like it is like one of the like things is like I compare it to, I think it was Film Z, where they had the girl that could turn people younger, like 10 years younger.
Yeah.
And like she was pretty hacks because like I don't say what because I'm sure there are people who haven't watched it yet, but like what she did was pretty crazy. And so if Bonnie can do something like that, but even worse, because like you saw what she did to the Marines on the Archipelago.
Exactly. And I don't even think that's an awakening, because I think if her awakening, she can specifically change, like not just like the age, but like, when like, because I always connect it to like with Big Mom. Let's say if she was like the first daughter to her, right? And like the reason why Big Mom looks the way she does, because like when she accelerated her age, like all like her like when you get older and stuff, your body doesn't function the same way it should. So like she probably like digressed in health and everything, and that's why she looks the way she does.
Yeah.
Let's say she faces like Blackbeard. If he like takes away her devil fruit, like how can she fight him? Like, does she have any like fighting skill? Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
She's like over relying on her devil fruit. Seems like that's all we know about.
Yeah,
Well, and Rose is also seeing you in the chat as well. You think maybe Makino's kid belongs to Ace?
No,
That makes
I
sense.
think
That would be weird as fuck.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
Ace?
Yeah.
Nah.
No way.
That would be weird as fuck.
So I say though, if she was pregnant and had a child, or if she was just pregnant, the whole way we saw her after the time skip, she was running about, right, and stealing that pizza. You have three options. If the kid is born, she would like keep a piece of it for the kid. She didn't, or she didn't even care. She didn't think about it. The second option is the kid is I mean, obviously she wasn't heavily pregnant, right? So she's still delaying the time. And the third option, she's delaying the time, and the kid, she keeps using her devil fruit on the kid in the womb. But then, it doesn't add up because she's already safe from what it seems. So why would she keep doing that? You know what I mean? Like, why would she keep delaying the time for the kid to be born then? Because she's now safe, right? She's not with the Marines anymore.
Especially if there's complications for her doing that. You know what I mean? To keep doing that.
Yeah, but remember, if the world government has some kind of connections to her afterwards, right? And let's say like they were to do some kind of test, because I'm pretty sure if they were like the world government's messed up as we know as it is, so they wouldn't mind probably doing a test on her, and they find out, hey, she's carrying a kid. They do a DNA test. It belongs to Ace, which belongs technically to Roger if we go by the bloodline.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't put it past the government to bullshit like that. Yeah.
You guys think that Vegapunk has also knowledge of the lineage factor?
Oh,
I think
hell
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's the only way.
How does she escape from Akainu though? Like, did she make a deal with him? Or something? 'Cause that
She
makes
had
no
to have done
sense.
something like that.
Probably made him younger. I heard people saying that. Looked younger.
Oh.
Yeah, like I feel like it'd be weird if she got captured, put the impel down, then escaped. Like, it would make sense. I think she had to have struck a deal or something along those lines.
I think y'all making it complicated.
What do you think happened, Stebo?
I think she said, "I'll suck your dick, kind of."
He's just rolling his grave right now when he's seeing that shit.
I can see her making herself young and get small so she can get out of the chain.
But it's Akainu though. Like, that won't fly with him.
Because here's my thing: is we look at where like in the anime right now, like especially like when you look at her design and stuff, how she is. I think she already probably had the kid.
Wait, you're naked. I'm gonna be ready in 1 minute.
Okay, go on.
No, but I'm saying like if I look at it, like how where she is in the anime, because if she's turning herself still as a kid right now and she was still carrying the kid, it would be messed up. So I think right now she probably already had the kid over the time skip, and it's like hiding out right now somewhere probably in Wano or like another island.
Yeah, her mother wouldn't leave her, especially Bonnie. Like, she wouldn't leave.
Yeah, but then think about it. She's already a threat to the government. Why would she risk your child if you're like this person who's like really wanted by the world government? You know what I mean? Like, would you put your kid in that kind of danger?
She probably left the kid in somebody's care.
That's what I mean. Like, that's probably the safest option she could do. And like, if she leaves the kid in Wano, are the Marines gonna touch anyone in Wano? Like, we kind of know that they'll never step foot on Wano. So like, that's her safest bet.
Ace's kid, Momonosuke confirmed.
Yep. Yep. Telling you guys, it's gonna happen.
But
she's Big Mom's daughter. Why didn't she like tell Big Mom to safeguard the kid or something?
Oh, I don't think I'd leave my kid with Big Mom.
No, because I think if they were, she would ask that. They probably have a bad relationship, if anything.
Yeah.
The thing is though, like, if she was to leave this kid in someone's care, this kid could be any age. Like, we wouldn't even, like, we could see some adult and then just not think anything of it, and then it later out turn to be her kid because she just like increased his age or some shit like that.
Maybe Tweeful.
He'll still be like a baby.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, look for like a fully, look for
You
a
can't
fully
do this,
grown
Chris,
body
please.
with like a child mentality, then you'll kind of find it.
Weevil.
The next time we see a kid with pink hair in anime, we gotta automatically think that's Bonnie's child.
Yeah.
Stebo, you forgot about it. Worm Dog.
Worm Dog.
Worm Dog is the kid.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Of course, Maris.
Opera has a childlike mentality. Right? So.
Wait till Worm Dog get animated. If you got pink hair, book it.
What's another character that you
Can
guys?
can I point? So someone in the chat said, Gaming Samurai X said, you think Sanji will find a way to make Reiju more human, perhaps through Vegapunk?
Like,
what do you
What do you guys think?
Like more human. She's like she has emotions and stuff. She just like can't disobey Judge. What if you just take care of Judge? It'll be cool.
Oh yeah, that's about.
Yeah, she can't disobey Judge. She
Of course
really
she
did.
can. She did it like 3 times already.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like he said, more human. What do you mean by that?
I think something like physically.
He's probably talking about her body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
fine,
something
bro.
I wanted to
That's
ask her. Like, what's Sanji's body gonna end up like? Like, is he ever gonna get this like iron skin or anything like that?
Question.
I kind of don't think so. Well, like, no, I do think so. Sorry, I think he should. But at the same time, like, I don't want him to almost just because like it seems kind of like a cop out for like Zoro, like in a sense that like he would have this exoskeleton, Zoro like wouldn't. So kind of be like the handicap.
Well, Zoro's already built for tough, and so is Sanji. So I don't even see why it's really a big deal.
Sanji uses body so like his swords are kind of like balance it out.
I don't think it's a big deal for either one of them. They're both built like they machines anyway. So
I think they can handle it.
But yes, like, what's another character you guys want to talk about that you guys think that like you hear people sleep on all the time?
Drake.
How about
Drake?
Drake's a big one. Yeah.
I think Drake's probably the strongest Supernova right now, to be honest. Like,
I think he's top 3.
Because if he's been on a Yonko's like crew, right? He fought like the Yonko's like main people, not main people, but like Scotch, who was guarding his favorite island supposedly. I feel like he should be pretty damn strong. And he's a rear admiral before time skip. That's pretty crazy in strength.
Yeah.
I think Drake is a beast.
I feel like Scotch
he's
is
a beast.
Upper level. He could probably handle.
Upper level.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think he would be like.
I ain't mad at that.
Gets one shot by Chimbe.
Who's the upper level?
Scotch from
Iron Boy Scotch.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
It's like where do you guys see X-Drake being in terms of strength? Because obviously we're gonna see him in Wano.
I mean, pre-time skip, we saw him have less trouble with the pacifistas than anyone, even Rouge. So
yeah,
I could see him being Ace's level.
Ace level right now, right? Could be.
Yeah,
I think Luffy's stronger than them.
I don't think so, to be honest.
I don't think so either. Oh, maybe equal to him. I think it's equal.
What do you guys think? What do you guys put Gear 4 Luffy compared to Ace?
I was to Ace. I still I do want to say Ace. I think is still stronger, like pre-time skip Ace, like at the very end.
Yeah.
Gear 4, but like I don't know, that's a personal opinion.
I think it's just too Oda really didn't show so much from like Ace. Like I feel like there's so many things like holding back that we should have seen from Ace, like the King's Hockey thing, and like if he added other forms of hockey too, it just feels like why when we get the chance to see it, maybe.
Yeah, like I feel like he was pretty fucking beast, but like Oda, like you said, Oda didn't like want to show him and like how strong he was, even though like that side book for everyone that doesn't know, like they were going to be getting like a side like book for or from Oda for Ace. What did you say, Stebo?
Oh, I was announcing Devil Eggs appearing.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that we see something about Ace in there. I'm assuming it's not about Ace, because it's a certain Marinomi user.
It has to be. If not, it's probably him killing the guy that had the fruit before.
Yeah.
Oh man, he straight up murdered that dude.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like it's a side of Ace we might have never seen before. Again, I'm just theory crafting on it, but
what if Oda had like a lot of mails saying that like did Ace have hockey? We didn't see Ace hockey, and so.
I think he's answered that question in an SBS at one point.
Yeah, at some point he might have been like, "All right, I'm gonna write a novel about this." So it can end finally, and he's like showcasing the hockey in the novel and shit.
Yeah, because like I want to see Ace like a good fight from Ace, because like all we really saw for a good fight from Ace was him versus Jinbei, and that was like when he's super early on. And so like if they were fighting for 5 days straight, like I think that's just crazy. Like that early on in the series for where Ace was, like I could only imagine. Because if we know that the Admirals could fight about 10 days straight, then like I could see him at least going like 7 days to 8 days where he was end of his death. If he was like full strength.
Oh yeah.
You know how like Conqueror's Haki is linked to like your will and stuff.
Right.
How strong do you think Ace's Haki was? Seeing as like he wasn't even ambitious like Luffy is. Because like he wanted Whitebeard to be the Pirate King. Like he didn't have that ambition himself. So like, do you think that kind of hindered his Conqueror's Haki a little bit, or do you think it was still powerful?
I think like he still had it like strong just because his like will was to make Whitebeard the king.
I was just gonna say because he was clearly wanted that, you know. So he was ambitious. He was ambitious in that way. You know what I mean? Not for himself, but for Whitebeard.
For someone else. Yeah.
He was more ambitious than Whitebeard himself, and Whitebeard had Haki conquers.
But then wasn't it said that like some Marines can't get Haki because they're like subordinates, they follow orders? So isn't that kind of similar for then Ace being like an underling?
But I feel like it kind of comes down like how like subordinate you are, like because clearly Ace was doing his own shit. Even when Whitebeard said, you know, leave it be for Blackbeard, he's like, no, I'm gonna go do it. Yeah. So like I feel like he's not super like he's not like laying on his back and like waiting for orders. He was doing his own thing.
Also, you can't forget that Whitebeard had Haki too. So it's like two Conqueror's Haki people, and the one has more power and experience.
Then if like Rayleigh had Haki and he was under Roger, like it really makes sense. I still think Zoro and Usopp are gonna get it in a series, but or even I think Zoro has it right now, but I just think he hasn't shown it yet.
What, you think Usopp's gonna get Conqueror's Haki?
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, he could.
Over
I don't
Sanji.
see. I don't. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't see him getting it over Sanji.
Who's? I want to talk about Usopp at the end, but who's he like? Who's following Usopp right now? Entire Grand Fleet.
Yeah, but that doesn't give him Conqueror's Haki. Though he ain't a conqueror.
Sanji's royalty.
People are
like his will isn't there.
But I feel like he probably has a stronger will though than Sanji as an overall character.
Yeah,
Sanji is royalty.
Nah, Sanji's will to like, I can't explain. Like Sanji's will to like not hit women, all of that shit. Like everything like about Sanji's character is based around how strong his will is. Like whereas Usopp is the direct contradiction to that. He's literally always buckling at every hurdle. Like he overcomes it in the end, but he buckles, and sometimes it's like just by pure luck that he manages to escape.
But that's why, like right now, but like think of like later. I want, you know what? Fuck it, we're talking about right now. It's so underrated. Because like in the series, right? Like his big thing right now, which is why it's like it's somewhat like a gag for like the show to make it funny, but it's also his personality. He's one to run away if he can. If like shit hits a fan, he's like gone. But if his crew is gonna be in a position where it's gonna like completely fuck them over, like he's thrown down, like he's gonna win the fight. And that's what I like about that guy. He's the guy who like you don't like count on until like shit gets super crazy. Like remember
that's not the aura of a conqueror though.
But think about this way, the Giants, right? Who are they gonna follow in Elbaf?
Well, you can speculate that it's going to be Usopp. You can speculate that it's going to be Usopp, but you've got no way to.
I mean, the alliance. I mean, they exchanged Selfie cups with Luffy, and they didn't even look back at Usopp.
That's because he's the captain, though. That had to happen.
Yeah,
but they didn't even look back at Usopp and say like, they didn't even remark anything.
They helped Luffy.
The thing is, they joined because of Usopp, though, and
I mean, he has a role, obviously.
Yeah,
I'm not denying that.
Like they're gonna take orders probably from Luffy over Usopp because he's captain. But like, if they were ever sent on a mission, right? Like, let's say in a series, like they give the current Grand Fleet, the Grand Fleet gets bigger, and they give all the people from the current Grand Fleet to Usopp, right? They're gonna listen to every word he says.
Like, the only argument I could use to argue Usopp getting Conquerors is how he stood up to Luffy when it came to like the Going Merry. That's the only reason. That's the only like argument I could use. Other than that, I don't see any evidence of him getting it.
That in his lineage, those are really the only two things for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I still think like a lot of people like.
But does Usopp have Conquerors though?
I don't know about Usopp because like I don't think he's the same as.
Still remains to be seen.
Yeah, like Ben Beckman should have it, in my opinion, and like
Yeah, he probably should.
the other two. But yeah, like I feel like Usopp, like a lot of people don't get that. Like he is kind of like Luffy. Like he's respected by a lot of people at the end of the day, and like that's his biggest like quirk and his biggest like plus. Cause like like Luffy, like Mihawk mentioned, like Luffy's is that people are drawn towards him naturally. I feel like Usopp kind of has a similar thing.
And Usopp has more girls than Sanji does.
I mean, like the fact that people are drawn to you isn't what makes you have conquerors, though. Because when you think like people weren't really drawn to Doflamingo, like he wasn't a likable character, but it's the fact that he had the ability to rule over people. No, he wasn't a likable character.
No. Because early on, right? Remember how like Pika and all of them, right? They came out of nowhere to find this dude, basically. Like they were natural. I also think there's different forms because like I'll go on that real quick, but like I think Rayleigh and Zoro are gonna have the other form, and maybe Ben Beckman, which is like to like keep people away. I don't know if that makes sense, like rejection kind of.
Why do you think Zoro already has it?
Why Zoro?
Why do you think he already has it?
So like the Dragon Shock, right? I know it was partly because of like what he like is, because like he's basically like a demonic person, but I think it was also like a low form of like Conqueror's Haki, where it's like it's subjugating, like it subjugated Monet. It's like it made her like passive basically, and that's what, like
I feel like
freaking out.
I feel like it's something like his top tier swordsmen have. It's not about conquerors, like swordsmen have it.
Like, would you, for a hero, go this way? Do you guys think Mihawk has it? Because I think Mihawk should have it at least.
Of course,
top tier swordsman.
Of course,
he's the same type. Because
I'm not comfortable with all these people having it, but
I mean that's not a lot of people if you think of look at how many people exist.
He's not a top tier swordsman. He is the top tier swordsman.
Like the Shogun, like I think should have it because again he's going to be the leader of all of these like top tier people in his country.
He's the Shogun.
Like strong leaders, right? Should all have it. I feel like physically fighter leaders should all have it.
Wait, did Sengoku have it?
We don't know.
Does the judge have it?
We don't know yet.
I feel like Garp had it.
Whitebeard had
The
it.
judge should have it because he's literally a conqueror. So I think he should.
Yeah, judge probably has it.
So does Nietzsche have it then?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where it starts getting confusing. So like for all of these people, like for us to be questioning whether they have it, but yet to be saying that Usopp probably will have it, like I don't see. Like if all of these people don't have it yet, then I don't see Usopp getting it.
No, you guys think that Luffy runs into Judge and they like have a Conqueror's Hockey clash?
That'd be kind of interesting. Luffy should be so weak; it shouldn't really like do anything.
Yeah, but what if Judge has it too, and it's like canceling?
If Luffy goes Gear 4 one more time, I swear to God, I'm not reading the next 5 chapters. I'll just leave it till this arc ends and then go back on Wano.
You know you won't do that.
I will. I'm not joking. I swear. I'm dead serious.
Maybe capture the kingdom then that time.
Yeah, exactly. Kingdom greatness, man.
Oh yeah.
But like, like.
Why One Vision?
Why what?
Oh, why? I mean, why would he put you off that he went to Gear 4 again?
Because he shouldn't be going Gear 4 after like an 11-hour fight with Cracker, being exhausted, not having any food in his system. Like literally, he like just Rosa wasn't that long ago, right? So for him to like not be able to go Gear 4 for like 10 minutes, but yet he does it for 11 hours, hasn't eaten, and then on top of that he's going to be using it again. Like nah, that shouldn't be happening.
It's the Kamui all over again.
Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. And on top of that, like he's taken so much damage. He nearly ripped his arms off. He like got his half of his arm almost chopped off by Cracker. He's like been set on fire. Like so much shit has happened to him. He shouldn't be going Gear 4. He shouldn't have anywhere near enough energy to go Gear 4.
And he didn't have no meat to eat.
The only way it would make sense. Ivankov comes. And
even if he eats food, he still shouldn't be able to go Gear 4 again. That shouldn't be like a. It's not a Senju being like it shouldn't work like that.
Well, we've seen Luffy do it before, so I mean.
Yeah, that's
and then fell down.
It's just bullshit.
I feel like he needs Ivankov to give him a shot, which would be like the only way.
I know it's retarded,
makes sense.
But it's Luffy.
Whenever he eats meat, it's Luffy. I mean, he does power up. So we've seen it with previous fight as well. Like he says, like I didn't even eat. Like even in the game, Burning Blood, you see it. Like I ate meat and stuff. Like that matters for him. It matters.
Yeah, so like going back to Usopp, like where do you guys think he's going to be in the series? Inside this group, we've talked about it a couple times, but like for the people
Fourth strongest in the crew.
You see what? Fourth strongest? Okay.
Yeah.
What about anyone else?
I mean, I wouldn't really argue that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that.
Like me personally, I think he's gonna be third, but I think at least he's fourth. Like, that's how
I
see
don't.
it.
I don't see the monster trio ever being split up. I think they're gonna stay like that.
Yeah.
So like the
Yeah.
highest I'll put him is fourth. That's it. Unless like a ton of other people. Actually, no. The highest I'll put him is fourth. Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy are just gonna stay like that.
Who is
I
the
I mean,
higher-
It's like Jinbei joins, and then like he'll be a fifth maybe.
Yeah.
Nah,
if
yeah.
Yeah, he'll be stronger than Jinbei. Come on.
I mean, like even in the
Jinbei's
event,
gonna
like
be the
let's
X
just say,
factor.
let's just imagine
I think
that
he's stronger
Marco
than-
was to
than
join the
Luffy.
crew later on down the line. Like just imagine that happening. Like I still think, like I think Sanji and Zoro would still like find a way to overcome that. But then I'd put Usopp under him.
You must
under
not
Marco.
like Usopp.
It's not that I don't like him. I don't want to be unrealistic with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some like I know it's not canon, but I'm gonna say it for anyone that's watched the film. I won't say what it is, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But the people that watch it know what I'm talking about. Near the end of the movie, what order was like the fights finished in, and like who fought the stronger people?
That doesn't mean a thing.
It kind of should.
Well, no,
See, it's rare.
finishing
Oda
a fight
still
faster doesn't mean a thing.
No, I'm saying like
you could be fighting someone that's an ultimate powerhouse, but one hit knocks him out.
I'm saying like not in terms of like how long it took, but like where like what fights ended in what order. Because generally the stronger fights, like Luffy's in almost every movie, is always the last fight, right?
Oh, okay.
And that's usually Zoro before that. And then who do you think it was this movie?
Oh my god.
I mean, we laugh though at it, but like it's a fact. And like if you look at what Zoro does, man, like it's not reaching, bro. It's facts.
I mean, if Oda was to be hinting it though, would he really be hinting it by doing that?
Who? Okay,
like
then who
right
has a higher?
now?
Who has a higher bounty?
Yeah, but that's just stupid.
You can call
No,
it
that's just
stupid.
stupid
No,
because
you
you
can
know
call it
why he's
stupid
got that though. You know
because
exactly
he
why
did the
he's got
most.
that.
Because Dofi gave him 5 stars.
He's a god.
He's just getting overhyped. Like I wouldn't even say that's underhyped. That's just
I
overhyped.
know you guys are laughing, but I'm really not trolling. I'm like, it's funny, but I'm really not trolling because like, it's what
Yeah.
Oda does, bro. Oda puts these things in there where people don't understand until way later. Like, it's such a small thing. Like, remember that bracelet, right? That Luffy got that he gave to. It was a log post that he gave to Buggy, which basically let him get up Impel Down. Like,
He did
look
have
at how
5
early he got
stars.
that.
He had 5
Okay,
stars. Zoro and
I'm
Luffy.
not arguing the fact that he's probably going to be strong later on. Like I even said I'd probably put him top 4, not top 3, but top 4. But like
But
I
you
don't
said
know.
Marco would be
Like
over him,
he's
and I
he's
said-
kind of getting. Yeah, I think Marco would be over him in the end.
man.
He's been a Yonko commander
So-
for as
so-
long as we've known him. Why would I not put Marco over him?
I mean, Cracker's been one, and so has Ben Beckman.
Yeah, but Cracker wasn't disappointing though. Cracker wasn't disappointing. I would put Cracker over him as well. Like I don't see Usopp being like this 1v1 battle anybody type of guy.
He's a support guy.
You say he's not 1v1, but like, didn't he always 1v1 people? Like Corona.
I don't know, man.
He
But
didn't
like
get
the
a
whole
put in his lobby, so no.
that whole bounty stuff that you were talking about though, that's like the Hercule Satan effect.
No,
Like, that's
dude.
how I see
I know
that.
what you're saying, but like in this case, he's one of the characters. I mean, you need to watch that spell or like Mars, because those are the best examples with Conchame and Met Jack. They're characters that start off super weak,
Iron Man,
like-
go over it.
but they're characters that start off super weak, right? And like they're funny because like we see them as like, okay, if a human being were to be in the show, right, that would be that guy, aka Usopp. And then slowly throughout the series, they get slightly stronger, but they're still shown as physically weakest, right? Like it does seem like people like Nami, pre-time skip and stuff like that were pretty weak, but like seems like Robin would destroy Usopp, seemingly, right? Pre-time skip.
Mm-hmm.
But later on, they just slowly start becoming OP, and then eventually they get their moment to shine, aka Elbaf, and they get such a big power up and like time to show. Like it's just so crazy. Like when you guys see Elbaf, then we'll have this conversation.
So wait, let me ask you this here. End of series, what feats do you expect Usopp to be able to pull? Like, and what kind of, who do you think he'll be able to like fight in a one-on-one, and how do you think it will go down?
Von Auger, he's gonna be. Let's be honest, and Von Auger is pretty fucking strong.
Yeah.
But he's gonna surpass Yasopp, who's a commander, aka the third. Just saying. I mean, it's facts. Well, not really, I guess, because you can argue that. But anyways, I personally see like this is how like crazy I think One Piece could get. Is we're at least getting island to island shooting, so they're gonna be on different islands shooting each other.
Okay.
But
when you say these islands, do you mean like the 10-day distance islands, or like next to each other, like neighboring islands?
I think at least
the first one, Green Bay Islands.
I think they could be a couple islands away. But the craziest feat I think possible that we're gonna see is Usopp shooting from a different planet.
Chris, you are such a savage, bro.
No. Hear me out. Because let me defend.
Is it the fanboying?
No. You guys hear me out.
Yeah. Finish.
Let the captain speak.
So, how many planets do we have in One Piece circling the One Piece world, like the Earth of One Piece, right?
6, right?
There's only one planet and 6 moons.
6 or 7, right?
So, do you really think that is not going to come into effect later?
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to be sniping each other from it.
And,
I just feel like it's going to be plot points, like with NL.
Like NL's on there. Like I personally see that's going to be a thing. I personally think that's going to be how crazy we're going to get.
Like a battle of the gods where Usopp snipes an L from the Earth, from the moon.
Pretty much. And it's funny. It's funny as fuck because like I think like that's the highest we're gonna get, and like I'm still like iffy about that, right? But I'm saying
how
like, if they
big
go
does
like
the slingshot have to be?
I mean, the thing is, like, I could see what you're saying to be true if you like use it in the sense like he shoots down something and then he uses like the gravity and then it pulls it in, and then like I feel like the impact would be enough to like wipe out a village, like just from the gravity and stuff. But I don't feel like he'll be able to pinpoint some like a singular person and then get like the perfect shot off. Like I feel like that's a bit.
My thing is right now, right? We know that Von Auger pre-time skip around Mocktown, right? Before they get to Mocktown, he shot like what, a pigeon down or a seagull from like before they even could see the island, right? And that was way back then, bro. And like what Yasopp in my mind, if Yasopp and Von Auger when they fight, right? I think it's gonna be an island or two at least away.
So I didn't argue that bit.
How do you even start a fight like that?
Snipers I'll call you when I get to the island.
Well, imagine there's 3 islands like in a line, right? And like the main body of the crew are fighting on the middle one, and then like Yasopp and the other one is on the 2 neighboring islands. So like I can't explain it. Like there's island 1, island 2, island 3. Everyone's fighting on island 2, and then Usopp is on island 1, the other guy's on island 3. So they're shooting each other, like trying to support the battlefield, whereas everyone else is fighting in the middle, if that makes sense.
But my whole thing with my whole thing with the island thing or the planet thing is we have to eventually surpass the islands, right? Like because the whole story like is around surpassing the old generation, and so like I think it's just a possibility. And like I don't know how I feel about it, but I think that's like the highest we're gonna get. Like I think that's a very possible thing in One Piece that we're gonna get that.
Okay, but
I think like each of the Straw Hats are gonna end up fighting on a different planet. Like, I think that's gonna.
But then let me ask you this then: if Usopp's able to snipe from like planetary distances, what kind of things would Luffy be able to do?
That's the thing. I think Luffy and Zoro can destroy a planet, like those planets. It's fucking crazy to think about. I know, but like,
I don't see this being like a Dragon Ball Z type of shit where they can attack and destroy the planet. Like, I don't want it to become something where they're fighting and then they're like, oh, we need to hold back because we don't want to destroy the planet. Yeah, but that's different. He had like he legit had a what's it called? Yeah, exactly. It was like a natural disaster. That's the only reason he was able to do that. The only 2 people that
you can work your way though to become a natural disaster.
But if you work your way up to be a natural disaster,
exactly,
then what's
but how can you? That's not possible though. How do you work? I can't work myself up to be a natural.
Think about it. Think about a full body gear third. Think about full body gear third Luffy.
What, so like he punches one section of the earth and it ripples like a whole earthquake throughout the whole thing? Like
he already strong enough to split a town in half in an imperfect gear fourth form, like halfway through the series. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't
so
be
then what would the
surprised.
drawback for this type of attack be?
There wouldn't be a drawback because
Like,
it would be perfect at that point. End of series.
Nah,
Then all he has to do is
that's
spam
not
that.
possible. Yeah, that's not possible.
But like
I don't
these
see that.
characters, in my opinion, like
in One
they're-
Piece, if they fight, it's not like in Dragon Ball where they can
and
fly.
I'm not saying like they're gonna
It's
fucking like
like-
Kamehameha, but I'm saying like if they beat like a planet enough, right? Kind of like how the islands are like beat up enough, like it's possible. Because I think like someone like what Shanks, like the Yonkos, they should be able to destroy an island at least. I feel
Yeah,
like.
but the thing is that
Yeah.
you know that what I was getting at was if they're fighting mostly on land, and they're not like in Dragon Ball where they fly.
And
So if they destroy the island they are on, they cannot fight.
I don't
These-
know how they're gonna survive that.
These
I
planets aren't
honestly
even
don't
that.
see.
These planets
I
aren't even that big though,
example,
too.
if they-
To remember that.
If they like, for example, if you say that Luffy's, I mean, I do believe that at the end of story, I mean, Luffy would probably be able to spam the shit out of Gear 4 King Kong Gun, which is
Yeah, 'cause
like,
I feel like he's gonna have other things above that. So Gear 4 would
Yeah.
end up being like the Gear 2 in this situation.
yeah. The thing
I do
also,
still feel like whatever he has at the end is gonna have a major drawback. I don't think he'll end up being like the ultimate god. That I'd be disappointed if that happens.
I'm gonna real quick post the image so you guys look at and like compare the size of those planets. They're really not that big. If you look at it,
Those are moons.
you look at so everyone is calling me crazy. Look at the planets, then like look
I
at
still
how
think that's
big
crazy.
they're. Like
Whether they're small planets or not, a planet's a planet. Like the density.
No, I
like,
understand,
you're
Yeah,
not
but like it's a
destroying-
comparing like if I had to
I
compare
can't see it.
something to Torco, because like
I'm on
Torco
my
is
phone.
exactly the same class as a Neptune planet, and that's not what One Piece is. If anything, One Piece is maybe a little bit bigger than what our current Earth is.
like because you know how like Torco, if you read Torco, how it's like literally what like 30 like times. It's ridiculously bigger than like what normal Earth is, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I think One Piece is either roughly around the same or maybe slightly bigger. But like if you look at those planets, like especially that green one could be from how far away it is, but like some of those are really small. Like some of those are like the size of Marine Fort, it looks like. Like they're really not that big.
The size of Marine Fort. Come on.
Nah.
I mean, like look,
Nah.
look at them compared to like those biggest islands. Like what would those biggest islands be? You know what I mean? Like which islands would those be? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, destroying a moon. First of all, I mean, if the moon is like Oda, if Oda dropped the moon in the story, it has to have a meaning.
No,
So
I know, and like what I'm saying, like
destroying it would be-
so the plans to me, right, and the series are going to be something in relation to the story and like to One Piece, right? Not, like in fact, like they could be like where like part of the One Piece weapons are hidden or whatever. Like
Yeah, I can see
it
that.
really depends on where you see the story going. Because to me, like you know how there's 4 like locations, right, for the like islands. They might not even be on the Earth. They might be those islands outside like space.
Yeah.
We know Monet, right, was studying astronomy and stuff like that and astrology to like be like a space pioneer and whatnot. And we know that there are creatures like Vegapunks, like the little Martians that live out there. So it's almost guaranteed that we're going to space. Like, in One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
I
so
mean,
like
destroying. I mean, getting on a moon and destroying it would be pointless from a story perspective.
I don't think you destroy
Not
the
to
moon,
mention that would fuck up everything on the Earth as well.
well the tides and stuff like that, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like those plants might not have relations to those. Like I think those plants out there are man-made by either the Gorsei or the Old Kingdom for like a sole purpose of hiding the One Piece weapons. Because like
Do you think
how
other people know like the other like about
I
this
think
stuff like with that
Gorsei
globe?
yeah, I think the Gorsei know. I think that's because we all know, right, that the Oharians, right, like Dr. Clover in that picture, they're researching like basically what the One Piece is because they're looking at the void entry, right?
Yeah, someone in the chat's like DG.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
before the stream.
Chat's going sick. Chat's going sick.
This is my favorite though. Like you guys
Just
can call
fanboying right now.
me crazy, but like if it happens.
They said DGK as
Yeah,
well.
sorry, carry on with what you were saying.
But
I just
basically
want to
was
say that I want to say 2 things actually. The first one was the 5-star thing. Zoro and Luffy had 3 stars too, so I don't think at the end of the story that Usopp is going to go over them as well.
Yeah, but Usopp was the one that caused the events to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
Dressrosa.
well,
That's why he has the most stars.
Not power-wise, but more importance-wise. Also, we saw his fight was actually the last one in Enies lobby, even after the one from Zoro.
You know, fighting in the lobby.
Yeah, in his lobby when he was firing at Spandam.
Oh.
That would bite. I mean, if you don't count the Jabra thing, and also that I do believe that Usopp will have crazy feats. Like I was gonna say that actually a while ago, that when Argo shot the birds from a long distance, I really do think that Usopp will be like very strong. But I don't. I still think that it will be Luffy versus. I mean, Luffy on versus Akainu, Sanji versus Kizaru, Greenbull actually versus Jinbei. That's what I think, and then Fujitora versus Zoro. So
Zoro.
Usopp will have a different opponent. So one can argue if Frankie fights the Navy's personal
I think
fight
he fights Sentomaru, if anyone, for Frankie.
I mean, if Frankie fights, I mean, it could be Sentomaru, yeah, but it could also be like Kuma, because he's
Yeah.
But yeah, basically what I was saying is like I personally think that those like 4 islands or whatever, right, that we supposedly know of that Nekomamushi and them talked about, right? I think those are actually the moons, because it would make sense that no one could find them, right, if they're on space or no one could get to them. Because that would like where else? Like how hard would that be to be a normal person and be able to get up there? You know what I mean? Like that's why like most people would be so relaxed. And like like I was saying, Dr. Clover, right, from the O'Haran like incident, and all the O'Harans, they were researching the Void Century, which is directly related to the One Piece, obviously. And they have that in their lab, like right in the middle. And like if you're gonna tell me that like that's not related, and Oda just put that in there randomly, even though that's like the only real thing we see on the arc, like you're crazy and you don't know how Oda works.
Yeah. And not to mention, if you look at the designs for like those moons, the moons, I say, right? But like, what if they were moons? Shouldn't they look all the same? You know what I mean? Like, it's One Piece's verse. Like it's not going to be like how we see it from like our world, like what our moons look like. To them, like the planets could be a whole lot closer than what we see in our system.
I mean, if they were planets, they wouldn't be revolving around the One Piece planet. They'd be revolving around the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, no matter what they are, like they're like I don't think they're moons or anything like that. I think they're really just man-created like land masses. So whatever you want to call them, you know, call them moons, call them planets, whatever. But I think they were created by someone previously, and like I think the Martians are gonna know about that. And I think when Enel comes back, right, I think they're gonna like be able to go to those places with Enel, or with like someone like Fuji, like they can use gravity. I just think that we're eventually gonna go in space in One Piece.
Because that's what you breathe in space in One Piece.
Let me ask though, then, if you look at the globe,
pirates.
if you look at the way the globe is right now, right, is that inside or outside the atmosphere still? Because you see, like, because if I had to compare in Dragon Ball, we've seen like Beerus and Goku fighting outside the atmosphere of the Earth, right? So would this technically be still within the atmosphere, even though like it could be a little bit inside?
And if Enel can be on the moon and he's surviving, like.
Oh, you think the moons are in the atmosphere?
No, I think
that's
outside of.
Wait, what could be in the atmosphere? I didn't get that.
Well, planet things that looks like whatever on the globe from Clover, right? Like, could it be inside still the atmosphere of the Earth?
It could be, but by then you are not in the what was it called? You're not in the area where you can breathe and.
I don't think One Piece space map works like that.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, it's One Piece's verse. Like, it's not the same as ours.
It's still, if you see like the red planet, it's pretty far apart. It's like the red planet is so far apart from the One Piece planet that another One Piece planet can fit inside. I mean, in the middle of it.
Yeah, but you can see that track it's on. That means it orbits around a planet like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's still like, yeah, it orbits, but I don't think it's in the atmosphere, or at least not in the part where you can breathe. And
the realist said that like oxygen is everywhere in One Piece. I kind of think that's the case, like because if Enel can survive, like I don't see why other people couldn't. That's how I see it.
I just assumed that's something to do with his devil fruit, but it wasn't explained, so I can't really say that.
I mean,
I don't know. I just thought because like obviously when you're a Logia, like your whole body is that. It's like all of his organs and everything would be that as well.
I feel
wouldn't it?
No, that's kind of what I thought at first too. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, like so, like, and I get what I'm saying. Like, it sounds crazy, but like, this is anime, bro. Like,
exactly.
Anything come here, come here to like see the expected. I want to see the unexpected, especially from Oda.
It could be that the moon have atmospheres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I can't wait to see Space Pirates.
But I want to see the unexpected, but I want to
Yeah.
see the somewhat plausible as well.
No, I
I
know.
just want to see
Yes, I'm
plausible.
so big into that. Yeah.
But like,
He
to
has
me,
to
like,
explain it.
yeah, and I'm sure he will, because like,
Yeah.
it's Goda.
Yep.
Goda.
Don't doubt Goda.
Nope.
But yeah,
I'm
so
gonna doubt Goda, but
I'm gonna end the stream in 9 minutes. So I don't know if there's anything else you still want to talk about besides Space Pirates.
all right. So did you guys talk about Niji when you guys were talking about underdogs?
Like,
No,
how strong do you think Niji is? Because I don't think he's too strong, but I think he's
super strong.
around-
Look,
I think
he used
around
one
Sanji.
attack, and Sanji was almost done.
Yeah.
He had the white eyes and everything.
I mean,
I mean, I was saying this from the start, from when we first saw him, but everyone shot me down for it. I think that he's right there with each. I thought that he was right there with Ichiji.
And
Like,
he wasn't wearing
the way he dealt with Sanji, like, you know, when Sanji went to catch the plate, right, and then the way he just suddenly appeared in front of him and went to kick him, like that was so fast. I don't even think Sanji realized what was going on until like he realized, and then you legit saw him get scared.
So where would you rank him among like the Straw Hats?
Among
Niji?
Yeah, because I think he's pretty on Sanji level. Like I think he's right there. Like I think it's gonna be like a good fight for Sanji.
Well, he can defeat Usopp. I know that for sure.
Right now, if we're talking about right now at this moment,
Hey, Zoro would have to go high diff.
Hey, Devil, like what happened when I pulled out Usopp and Burning Blood to your Sanji?
Usopp was trolling that game, and I suck at it.
Yeah.
It's little
Okay,
known
so-
fact that I suck at video games, but
I mean, confirmed up over. But where do you guys think he is? Because I think each is gonna be like Luffy level. Like I personally think he should be above like a lot of people if he's on this fabled Germa 66 army.
Yeah.
That's another thing though. I don't want, like, in this arc, I feel like the hype for the Germans just gonna die down so fast if they just get fodderized by Big Mom's crew. Because like they were the mythical army, the mythical assassins, whatever like translation you want to go by.
Bro,
they were
Niji's
hyped
gonna
up
defeat
a
Cracker
lot.
again. He's gonna like
Yeah, but see,
electrocute through
I
the
don't
armor.
want that to happen either. Like, if they're going to defeat someone, I want them to defeat someone with feats. Because, like, if they defeat Cracker, then he's just gonna but he's just gonna get downplayed if he gets defeated again. Like, he doesn't deserve that. He really doesn't deserve that.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel
like-
like Ichiji.
He's gonna one shot Bobbins now. I mean,
I was so disappointed in Bobbin. I'm not gonna lie. I can't, I can't even say that because we haven't seen him fight. But like, I really thought he was gonna be super strong.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe they're saving him.
Hopefully.
What if Yonji fights Bobby?
Yeah, that's someone that's kind of underrated though, Yonji. Like, he got dealt with, but I mean, there might be a reason for that.
he wasn't unconscious, to be fair.
Yeah.
It could have been a thing where like, could have been a thing where he underestimated Sanji too. But I think he just got worked, to be honest.
I think Sanji just kicked
Yeah,
him in
or-
the head, and that was it.
But yeah, so like, I'm trying to think any last people that you guys want to talk about in the
Like, just one more thing on Niji, right? They're probably going to try to pull the gun at him at the wedding, and most One Piece characters are faster than bullets. They're just going to have a Henry Needle up their ass by
So,
like, and he can turn invisible too, can he?
Stealth. I think that's like
Yeah,
a
he
Roku
can.
sheet.
I think so.
He'd be like,
The big pirates are underestimating the Bismos. They make it sound so easy to kill him.
Niji's like an invisible Pikachu. He's unstoppable, man. I swear.
Yeah.
like for example, like he sees what Pudding does and he's like, fuck this. And he turns like invisible and comes at her backside and slaps her away across the room and shit.
So yeah, we'll do Jinbei, and then we'll do Hawkins, and then we'll end the stream. So where do you guys see Jinbei?
I think Jinbei's stronger than Luffy.
You think he really is?
I don't think no.
No.
I think Gear Force separated the two already.
He one-shot Opera.
Yeah.
Luffy just came out of an 11-hour fight, so you can't compare his fight with Opera.
Exactly, yeah. And plus, like, Opera didn't expect Jinbei to come through and just hit him up like that.
Well, he
looked at Jinbei before he
yeah.
Right, but that's
was
what
about
makes
to
him
say
an
that.
idiot, where Cracker was prepared for 11-hour war, like, you know.
And how far down do you think Opera is from the commanders?
Bobbin washes him.
I could see
How
that.
far down from the commanders do you think Opera is?
Worm
like
Dog watches him.
Oh,
Come on, son, be for real.
I think he's like
Serious.
3. I think he's like Worm
As
Dog.
much as I love Worm Dog, he ain't messing with Opera.
Opera told him to brush his
um,
teeth. Yeah, this caterpillar.
The Stebo.
I think Jinbei is nice, man. Because, I mean, look, he was stronger than Luffy before, right? Y'all think he was just sitting down doing nothing for 2 years?
No, I do think he's strong, but I still think he's below Zoro.
Luffy had a better growth.
I don't see it, man.
But
Well, I
Stebo,
mean,
He was already
Stebo,
on that
like-
level pre-time skip.
Yeah, but when you think that Luffy was trained by Rayleigh, so like he had a head start there.
But what?
Jinbei was training in the 2 years.
Jinbei was
Yeah,
trained
he
by
was
Fisher
just doing
Tiger.
his stuff.
He sold the Mary Joes. Yeah, I
I
don't
did
know.
I'd have Benjo join.
Yeah. So I guess we'll do Hawkins and we'll cut the stream off. So how do you guys feel about Hawkins?
Wait, there was like 2 more. I mean,
Wait,
I will say that when Niji mentioned the enraged army, he didn't even mention Opera. He said like the scribe,
Yeah.
and then he said like the Amande, whichever the title was, and he said like Bobbins.
Yeah.
Demon Lady of Monday.
Yeah. So he didn't even mention Opera. So Opera might not be
So Opera
even
was a scrub.
Yeah. And also, I have one comment from Manga Stream. If you want it, I can read it now, or I can read it later.
Probably later because we're going to go with the Hawkins one.
All right.
If Opera's a scrub, why did Big Mom leave him to defend the prison?
She's an
Because
idiot.
it's a prison. No one's meant to escape a prison.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way for them to get out of it to fight. So he doesn't
Yeah.
really need to do nothing. He
Well,
just
there is
sits
a
on
way
his
for
ass
them to
all
get
day.
out because they got out.
Yeah, but they had outside help. Like she's not expecting anyone to be on the outside to help.
We talked about this already. You're supposed to be expecting something like that. Come on now.
That's why I'm pissed off
Opera's an
about
idiot,
this
though, man.
arc. That's legit why I'm pissed off about this arc. Nothing's going how it should. But yeah, we were going on the Hawkins, right?
Yeah. So what do you guys? Whoever mentioned it, I'll let you
I
go
did.
first.
I mean, like the way I kind of look at it is like people kind of like downplay him a bit because of what Kizaru did to him back at Sabaody. And I think like just because of the potential with his fruit, like the whole voodoo thing going on, like and the fact that he can like see like like kind of like see like the someone's like death based on the cards and stuff, like the chances and all that. I mean, like I think he's a character that's like people are sleeping on a lot. And like for me, like I kind of put him like I would say somewhere in the top 5. I don't know where I would put him, but like he's still like a very good character.
Yeah,
I would put him below in the 8-9 place.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like like top 5.
So people
Top
sleep on
5.
Hawkins because he got fodderized by an admiral as a rookie.
yeah, like that's not a good
Yes, I
reason.
mean, it's like
Yeah,
No, I
look what
agree with
happened to
that. Like,
Kid.
that
I
is
think
not a
he's
good reason.
strong.
Look what happened to
I hate
Kid.
the fan base.
He got slept on because he got beaten up by Kaido. That shouldn't have happened either. Like
Yeah.
people shouldn't be sleeping on him because of
No.
Actually, I want to do that one real quick. That'll be the last one. How do you guys feel about him in terms of strength in the Supernova rankings? Where would you put him?
I
I
still
put
think
him
he's
at either number
one.
1 or number 2.
Yeah, a lot of people like him at number 1. I think he's definitely at least top 3. But
Yeah, I think he's got to be at least 1 or 2. Like X-Drake, I still think is one of the stronger ones. I think he's probably then 2, and I think Useless is probably 1 because I feel like he was 1 pre-time skip, and like I don't know.
What do you guys
After
think?
the Aruj reveal, I think Aruj is number 1.
yeah.
Kid,
I mean, as of
number
right
2,
now, it seems
Luffy
like.
number 3.
Mm.
I mean, think about it. Kid fought 2 uncles.
So all the Supernovas Rouge did. It's not
Yeah.
easy.
I feel like Rouge is like overhyped.
He's like 6 or 7.
He went from underhyped, and
I was just about to say, yeah, he went from like nothing to like,
and that's
the
why
best.
like I think a lot of people were sleeping on him, and like when he was like finally shown his strength, right? Which
Yeah.
to me, like again, like going by the trope and like the archetype of like what he was, like the calm, humble person, right? I kind of thought he was. I didn't think he's gonna be like that level like this early, but like I kind of saw it being around there because like his archetype of being like the quiet one in the group of the Supernovas. Because you know how like people like
I
used
feel
to
like
start.
before we,
What?
I feel like before we judge him, we need to find out more about Snack. Like,
No, that's the thing. Like, it does seem like Snack would probably be the one of the weaker ones, just because like he was taken out. But like you never know.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's kind of
maybe
like
like a bad
overhyped.
matchup.
I do feel like
Mac
if
was top 4, so it don't matter.
but,
Yeah.
but
Maybe a
like,
gap between 4
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are overplaying him now, like thinking he's like the end all, kind of like how Gear 4 is now like solution to everything.
Stop.
Yep.
Scapes.
That boy
Scapes,
nice.
like,
Come on.
Scapes putting me on his hit list right now.
Yep. I guess that's about it then.
Yeah, perfect on the 2-3. Anything you guys want to say before we end the stream?
I feel like with Hawkins, like he won't take a fight he can't win. So like he'll be like more strategic with it. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
I just want to say, that Niji could have like Eneru's like destructive capacity. He could destroy islands by the end of the series.
I mean, you never know. And that was doing that shit fucking pre-time skip, bro.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. So thanks for everyone that joined us today, and like Law says, is like the stream.
Yeah,
If
like
you
the
guys-
stream,
Like one more
subscribe.
thing now.
You make sure you do those two things. You know that we'll come back here and do more streams as well.
Like,
Make sure you go tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about us, man.
For anyone that joined us, do you guys have any YouTube channels?
I'm Joe Manga.
Okay. What we'll do is, if you have a YouTube channel, if you want to send it to me on either Discord, I'll put it in the description for this video.
Make sure to talk to the guys we're gonna put in.
Can I read the comment on Among Us?
Yeah.
There's a observer said something interesting. I read the chapter. He said the real mastermind could be Pudding, who messed up Big Mom's memories because she's envious with Lola being the favorite daughter of Big Mom. And then when Big Mom comes unconscious, the effects of the memory manipulation and stuff, like they legit made a theory about Pudding manipulating Big Mom's memories as to where Lola thinks she's like
Wants to be in love.
she's on good terms.
Pudding's devil fruit can change the world. You know? Like literally.
You change the void century.
Yeah.
They should erase that Kingdom spoiler I accidentally spilled.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, we're probably gonna tune out now. So again, if you haven't subscribed or liked, and if you're new to our channel, you best do that. We're gonna try and come back here again, hopefully sometime again this weekend. If not, you guys, if you're followed to us on Twitter, just keep track with us on there, and we'll let you guys know what's popping. And that's about it, really. So, Stebo,
Spread the love of Outer Haven.
Yeah, spread the love, man. Spread the love. We appreciate it. We have 166 subs right now, which we really appreciate the support. We have 23 people watching right now. Again, guys, the support that you guys have been giving us recently over the last month has just been amazing, and we couldn't ask for nothing more.
Guys are growing, man. It's all good.
So
I love everybody.
Thanks guys.
Okay.
And, remember
So that
join the
is
Space Pirates.
Are we done? Outer Haven.
Disperse.